Hey everybody, I said that I would make you all a tutorial about troop finances, so here goes. The things I wanted to go over with you are collecting dues and how to kind of explain that to parents, as well as making your deposits for your troop, tracking all of your spending and your incoming money, as well as how to update the parents on bank balances and be very transparent with them because sometimes the money in scouts can make people very nervous. So we want to be as transparent financial wise as we can for them. Checks that you may receive from parents for dues or activities, things like that, as well as keeping your receipts. Okay, so to start, I have my troop planner, which is just my big book of everything for my troop. And I always keep a badge tracker in the front because it's just helpful for me to be able to mark off what we've done and what we haven't. Then I have this, which is just a little pencil pouch, but I keep receipts in this for parents who do things through PayPal and other means of payment and haven't been able to collect their receipts from me yet. So I keep their receipts in here. That way I can hand those out to them when I see them at the meetings and whatnot. Okay, we'll skip over this part. And I can do a tutorial about how I keep up with my troops' information, such as badges, attendance, and things like that, if you all would like to. But for today, we're just going to go over the financial side. This is my dues tracking sheet. And, oh, sorry, I'm new to this whole video thing. You can see that we put check marks when people pay their dues, and then the ones that are not paid are blank. And then down here, we have an explanation for the parents of what dues are. We wrote important notes. Dues is a fee collected by troops in order to keep them going. It helps to cover some, and that's important, make sure you let them know some of the things. It helps to cover some of the supplies, badges, and other things we use to do and do throughout our season. The amount is determined at the beginning of the season during the first parent meeting. This is important because some of our troops get new people throughout the year, so it's important to let them know that you only evaluate dues and the amount you're going to charge for dues once a year. And we do this at the very first parent meeting. My parents and I went through the very first meeting, and we chose that our dues would be $5 a month, or, of course, you could pay the total for the 10 months. And then if you have more than one child in the troop, which at the beginning of the year, myself and two other parents had 2 children in the troop. And we decided that dues for people with siblings could be $7 versus the total 10, just to make it a little easier on them. And that's what we had evaluated for our own personal troop. That's not for everyone, so keep that in mind. Paying. This is another note. You can pay your scouts dues monthly or all at once for the whole season. It's important to let them know that because some people don't do well tracking things like this monthly. So giving them the opportunity to pay it all in one is very helpful to some parents. And the final note, dues will not cover everything. Please note, quite a bit comes out of the leadership's pockets until the troop earns proceeds from the product programs we participate in. I make sure that this is bolded and that it is said multiple times throughout the season and is verbally stated to each parent because it's important as the parents for them to know that this is not able to cover everything, and that once we do the product sales and we participate in these product programs, that the troop does earn a little extra money to alleviate some of the leader spending. But as a leader, I'm sure you all know, we typically spend things out of our pocket, either because we didn't think about grabbing the troop card or simply because we just want to. But not everyone has the luxury, so you have to be very careful. But that is our troop dues tracker, and we make one a season. And then also in the binder behind the tracker, I'm not going to show you too close because this is our private stuff for the troop. This is our account balance tracker, our troop register, if you want to call it that. It's just a sheet that we track what we spend each month, and we go over the receipts and things to make sure everything matches up. And it's like an old-fashioned checkbook register. It just keeps everything in black and white, and it's very easy to pull out and show people during meetings, hey, here's where we're at, here's what we've done, and here's what we've spent it on. Okay, now I will go over receipts with you. This is our handy dandy receipt book. We keep every receipt in here that we write because, of course, you know, you keep the white copy and you give the parent the yellow, or the person paying the yellow copy behind it. So we just leave all of our white copies in the book. That way we don't ever have to worry about, oh, well, where did we put that one receipt? It's right here. It's in the book. And sometimes with these receipt books, they are carbon copy, so they can go through. We take a piece of cardboard and we duct tape it, and then we simply put it behind the page we're working on. That way there's no worry about it going through the other pages. Because with carbon copy receipts, we all know that that's a problem. You write a receipt, and then on the next 3 pages, you have that information that you wrote down. Okay, so that's our receipt book, and this is our troop bank bag. This is very important because this is where, I guess, the magic happens. We take our receipts for everything we purchase for the troop. We have an envelope system that we use, which I'll show you. And then, lastly, we have our 2 forms of credit card payment if the troop parents need that. We use PayPal as well as we use Square because our PayPal is linked directly to our troop bank account, which is very, very convenient. A lot of parents will forget something as simple as dues, and I'll send out the reminders every couple of months, and they're like, oh, well, just PayPal'd it. It's in the account. And when you use PayPal Friends and Family, there are no charges for either of you. So you get that money straight into the PayPal account, and then you simply transfer it to your troop. It's very easy, and it's a very convenient method for some people. So here are a couple of the receipts for what we've done this month. And we have coordinating envelopes for every month. And at the end of February, I will go in and get this envelope ready. I will write everything down in our register that's here in our book, and then I will coordinate it with each receipt and then coordinate it with our bank statement to make sure everything matches up. We also will put things like when parents give us certain amounts of money, we put that in our register too. That way we have an active balance of what is in the troop account for people to be able to see. But that's really the only thing we keep in our monthly envelopes is our receipts that we spend. And then once the year is over, we have a couple of bigger envelopes. So for the 2015-2016 year, we have one envelope that has all of our receipts for the 2015 year. We just recycle the month envelopes and we put all the receipts in one big envelope for 2015-2016. Another step that might be a little much for some, but I find relaxing, is we all know that receipts can sometimes fade. So if you ever have an issue and then you go to pull the receipt, but the receipt's faded, there's nothing really you can do about it. So at the end of each month, I will take my receipts and I put them in my scanner and I scan like 7 to 8 receipts at a time because you can fill up one whole page. So I scan all the receipts for that month, and then I have a folder on my computer. That way I've got a electronic backup as well as my paper backup, because you never know when something might go south and you need to be able to cover yourself as well as your troop. You never ever want to be left in a situation where you cannot explain an expense. The last thing with this I wanted to show you with our envelopes is the check envelope. The only reason we have a check envelope is because sometimes parents are a little forgetful, or businesses or anything really, and they will write the checks out to me personally versus writing it out to the troop. So sometimes when they do that, it's much simpler for me to use my phone, and my bank that I have has a scan deposit feature. So you can take pictures of the checks and then it will validate them and deposit them automatically into your account. So I use that feature with my account, and then I simply take the money out and put it in the troop account. And with troop funds, I typically make 1 to 2 bank runs a month and put the money we've collected in the bank. But during cookie season, it's typically 1 trip a week because I don't like to have money like that sitting around the house. Lastly, we have our piggy bank, and our piggy bank is where we put all of our change. So, but I've actually just emptied it because I'm about to go on a bank run. If parents bring like money for cookies and they have quarters or something, we always put it in here. And when the piggy bank gets full, we take it out, we roll it, and we put it in the account. It's just a way to kind of make that a little simpler. The other things I wanted to go over is updating with your parents, and it's kind of the last thing I wanted to touch on. Having these resources and having these things on hand. Everybody has a cell phone nowadays. Dropbox is an amazing resource. If you have an Apple phone, your phone comes equipped with iCloud. iCloud is an amazing resource. If you ever have any questions and you're out and about, you can simply pull it up right there on your phone and you don't have to think. That's what we do. We have our registers, our receipts, everything in an iCloud folder, and that can be accessed through any Apple device. And it's also linked to our Dropbox account, so it can be accessed with any Google device. This way we can keep our parents updated. So every now and then we will make a post letting parents know what's going on bank account wise. We don't post the balance or anything like that on social media or broadcast it publicly. We let the parents know at the meetings. So you don't really have to worry about that. But this is just how Troop 680 handles their finances. And I had promised I would make a little video about it. So if you all have any questions or comments, concerns in how we do it, or maybe you have a suggestion that would make it a little easier for us, we are always open to that. We love it when things are made easier. So you guys have a great day, and I hope this helps some of you. See you later. Peace out, Girl Scouts.